the Evergreen Media Network Studios, brought to you by Evergreen Media, creating cohesive marketing campaigns. Evergreen Media in Vero Beach.
Welcome to the Lori Davis Show, where it's all about the amazing lifestyle on our Treasure Coast. And here's your host and realtor for life, Lori Davis.
Hello, good morning. We are taping early in the morning here on our Tuesday that we normally tape. It's kind of interesting to get it done first thing in the morning. Usually we wait till the afternoon when things are kind of sultry and hot and steamy out there, but it's quite nice out there today. Long days of summer. We got beautiful weather here. We had that little bit of a storm that came through. It didn't really affect us at all. We had some rain bands. We had some wind. Out where I live, there was really nothing at all. A couple of palm fronds fell. Cindy, what happened in McCansh Park?
Well, you know.
I do know the answer to this.
You do know this. So a couple of giant limbs on a tree that I have been having them look at, funnily enough. And so they fell down, and one smashed my windshield, and the other one smashed the wires to the back of my house, the electric wires. So get it over with it one storm. So
That's true.
It's all good. Nobody got hurt.
That's true. Now, what happened with the windshield?
Well, I don't know yet. I'm still waiting.
I mean, you can drive it still. I saw your car up front.
You can drive it, but I don't want to say anything because of,
Yeah. Oh, you mean that it might be illegal driving in its current condition? I know. That's a little tip for who we've got in the house today.
Yeah, that's why we do that.
No longer with the force right now, by the way.
Right,
so
I know that.
It's all cool. Your secret safe in here.
Okay.
And then the one that was hanging on that pole, you're saying that FPL told you that that's not their responsibility?
No, they didn't say it wasn't their responsibility. They said they put in a ticket.
Okay.
They have no technicians available, and there's no time frame of when they'll actually fix it.
Okay. So
We're
she
just
has a
gonna go
pole
with
on the
that.
back of the house, which I do too.
So it stretches down.
Yes, it comes from a pole on the back easement of your home, and then it'll come to your house. These are older homes. My house was built in 1969. Yours, Cindy?
47.
Right, but the pole's been replaced many times, but the tree limb falls on it, and it's like this far from her roof, and I'm just worried about her. So I keep calling her and finding out how she's doing.
Right.
Everything's
So we're
safe.
good. Yeah,
but
we're
they saw a picture of it. They said she was safe. So that's all.
So that's kind of cool now that you send them pictures of what actually, I mean, and then you got to be a photographer and get the right angle is what I'm thinking how that works.
Now you're worried about
Photoshop
spatial.
something.
Yeah, exactly. Oh God, as if it isn't hard enough.
It was too
out
much.
there.
I'm like, okay, good. As long as I'm not getting electrocuted, I'm good.
I know. Well, we're happy that you guys are
Thank
okay.
you. Yeah.
We like to talk about lifestyle on the show. As we say, everybody moves to Vero Beach. The people that come here, they come here because of the lifestyle. You can buy a house, you can buy a condo. There's a lot of beautiful places in the state of Florida that you could live in. But we live here because of this Vero Beach. It's such a unique place, and I talk about it all the time. Our location, our oceans, our rivers, the people that live here, the people that gravitate to here tend to be really unique people. If you want to be all dancy and lots of restaurants and all that kind of stuff, you need to go to Jupiter, right? If you're, you like that Gulf Coast thing, that's fine. It's a lot of traffic. It's very high density. So we tend to get the people that that really get it here in Vero Beach. One of the things I always talk about what's going on around town, the most important thing that's happening, and this show plays on the radio on Sundays, but we're always live stream for the week, as early voting starts Saturday, August 10th. Very important. You guys, we got to get out and vote. In New River County, it's very important. We've got a lot of offices out there that people are voting for. We've got the sheriff's office. We've got county commission seats. We've got our tax appraiser. What is it? The tax
Collector.
Yes.
It's Carol Jean Jordan. I mean, a lot of these are very contentious. I mean, they really are.
I know.
It's a big deal.
And that's why we just want to get everybody out and vote.
Right.
It doesn't matter who you pick.
Yeah.
Just go and vote. And this is great because now, starting on Saturday, that's August 10th, you can go, and it's open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So I'm just going to go out and vote and get it out of the way.
too.
I mean, sometimes it's fun to vote on that day. I like to do that when it's like the presidential election. I don't know. It just got some vibe.
Yeah.
But, okay, in New River County, the main library. So that is on 21st Street. It runs parallel to Route 60. It's at 1 street north. It's at 16th Street, if you don't know where the main library is. Again, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sebastian City Hall. county council chambers. So if you live in Sebastian, you probably know it's over on Main Street, 1225 Main Street. Again, 8 to 4. The times are all the same. And then the supervisor of elections office. That's at the county buildings. Those are off 26th Street. So, and if you go in, it says on the building, supervisor of elections, because there's multiple buildings. I go over there all the time. I'm not sure which building I'm supposed to go into.
Yeah, it's like a what do you call it? A web maze. Yeah.
Yeah. I went over there and ended up in the wrong building twice. So I finally found, now I know where driver's license is and I know where the supervisor of elections, probably the only two things I need anyway over there. Some of the other things that are going on around town, there's a real cool thing that's going to happen on Saturday, August 17th from 1:30 to 3:30. It's called the Evolutionary Art of Music Video, Rock and Roll and Beyond. And this is our very own Zach Gruber that's going to be doing it. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. I know.
I'd love to have him on the show. Yeah. It's curated and narrated by Zach Gruber. So it showcases groundbreaking artistic music videos. When music videos came out in the early 80s, it changed. Video killed the radio star, as they say. Yeah. But it really was, it was so impactful. And I think everybody was watching. And Zach is very good. I mean, I can't wait to hear his research and see his videos. But he says, storytelling that transformed music videos into a powerful form of artistic expression. And I think it's great. I think it's going to be a really good piece. It's just that one day. It'll probably be backed by popular demand if enough people say so. We've got the farmers market. We love Saturday farmers market. I did go down there last week. I think because there was a threat of the storm, it was probably 1/3 of the vendors that were there. But the week before, it was just fine. Everybody was there. Got some great veg and some other things. Music in the Loop, always at Riverside. We love that. Starts on Thursdays, and then you've got your comedy shows on Friday and Saturday nights. So that's what's happening around town. We always have something special in the house from Chef Scott Barricchio at Citrus Grill House because it's a morning show for us today. I wanted everybody to know that you can go over there and have a mocktail. Yeah. You don't have to have a drink. This is a Bloody Mary. It's a mock Bloody Mary, and it is amazing. It is. I had Cindy taste it because she can't drink when she's doing the work because she's so good at what she does. But this has horseradish in it and lemon and lime, and it's absolutely delicious. I mean, you're almost like chewing it. It's like eating a tomato sandwich. I
said you needed like shrimp cocktail or clams. Scott, we need some clams
on the half shell. Oh, it tastes so good. It's really, really good. Yeah. Thank you, Chef Scott Barricchio at Citrus Grill House. They're over on 1050 Easter Lily Lane, right there by the ocean, right there by Humiston Park. Great restaurant, wonderful staff. We love it over there. If it's not fresh, they're not serving it. So go on over to Citrus Grill House and tell them that Lori Davis sent you. Real quickly, Dale Sorensen Real Estate, DSRE by the numbers. Through June 5th, we sold $515 million, 618 transactions. We're at 20.3% of the market share. Versus our next closest at $342 million with 352 transactions. They're at 13.4% of the market share. So I like to keep the median home price. Cindy, I split them up because it was skewing the mainland home prices up by doing the mainland and the home together. Right?
You know, that's a good idea because it is two different dynamics.
It is.
I mean, that sounds dumb, but I mean...
Well, it was scaring us because it was over 400,000. Yeah. It's at 370 now, which is still high. I know it's high. I mean, but that's a real number of just the mainland, Indian River County, and the city of Vero Beach. Mainland is 370,000. The median price on the island is $1.195 million.
Wow, and you said that's down.
That is down. That's down. But it's ticked up a little bit because it was $1,045,000. So I think we had some closings that kind of bumped that up a little bit. Oh yeah, it was at 1.4 a year ago. It was really
that's insane.
Really
you're
high.
Talking 300,000, which is almost the price of the ones not on the mainland.
Yeah, they were saying it was down 25%.
Wow.
Yeah. So and that's okay. It's not the value of your home because your home value is still actually growing, but it's over a year of pricing. From year over year. So you really need to, don't worry about it. And if you have any questions about the value of your home, you can call me, Lori Davis, 772-538-1828. Our guest began his law enforcement career at the Vero Beach Police Department, where he served as a patrol officer and a field training officer. After 3 years with that agency, he left to join Indian River County Sheriff's Office, where he served for over 20 years. Our guest is running for the office of sheriff. Please welcome Milo Thornton to the house.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad that you're here. Tell me, why did you pick law enforcement?
That's one of the questions I get the most.
Yeah.
And I tell people, I didn't pick law enforcement, it picked me.
Yeah.
My family has always been in the service, business,
Okay.
serving the community in different aspects. But initially, I thought I was going to be an orthopedic surgeon.
Okay.
My father was a medical examiner. His patients don't talk back to him. But,
Understood.
I wanted to take my curiosity into working with athletes, and it just didn't, the way my bank account was set up at the time, it just didn't work out.
No.
Yes, ma'am.
I love it. Well, now school starts back, starting this next week. It's Indian River County Schools starts on Monday, and then I think St. Edward starts in another week after that. You most recently were involved with the school safety at the Sheriff's Department. It's kind of a special place for you. I know you really do think about. Tell us more about you and schools and kids and what that means to you.
So I've always had the mindset to protect our most vulnerable people.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about our kids, you talk about our seniors, you talk about our veterans, and our families. And kids just do something for me. Unfortunately, I've never was in a position to have kids of my own. So I've always taken these kids under my wing. Over the course of my career, I've coached recreation football, high school football, and just mentor these kids to make sure that they are able to thrive. I get the best feeling when I see other people successful and see them thrive. And now a lot of these young men and in some cases women, because I've had females on our football teams.
Sure.
They're adults now and they have families, and I run into them throughout the community and they go, "Hey, coach." And I'm like,
I think that's a great name when they call you coach.
It is the best feeling in the world when you see these kids and now they are, productive citizens in our community, and they're married and got their own kids.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling.
It is awesome.
It also reminds me that I'm getting older too. So.
Yeah, I know. Oh my God, I do. Because Jim, my husband, coached soccer, and he literally, they were 3 and 4 years old, and they still call him coach.
Yeah.
And so, that's 23 years later.
Right.
It's kind of crazy. Now, public safety. I mean, school safety. I'm saying school safety here. What are we doing? What is going on within the schools that are helping to keep these places safer for kids? Because, we hear and read what's going on and what's happening, and it's not all bad. We only hear the bad things. We don't a lot of hear the good things, and I wish we'd have one good thing a day. But anyway, what are they doing? What would you be doing?
So there are some things that I won't speak publicly about because we want to make sure we keep those things secret so that we have the advantage. Having the advantage on anyone who desires to harm our students or our faculty is important to us.
Yeah.
So I won't speak publicly about those things, but I can tell you this, through my relationship that I've had with the school district, my desire is to continually to seek cutting edge equipment and technology to help combat, anyone that may think about, coming onto one of our campuses.
Sure.
I think it's important that, we be more proactive versus reactive. And in some of our cases, when we talk about kids, some of these kids are small. They can't defend for themselves. They can't run.
I know.
So having our school, we're fortunate here, when Sheriff Lohr was in office, when Stoneman Douglas was an issue for us, we were fortunate enough to be able to put a deputy on every campus.
Yes.
So, not all counties have that.
No. And they're still there, right?
They're still like that. Some counties have, no deputies on their campuses. They have no guardians.
Yeah.
But we are fortunate that we have sworn law enforcement deputy and officers in the cases we talk about our city jurisdictions on every campus.
That's amazing.
We're super fortunate.
Yeah. Public safety is a big issue. I know that that just means public safety is you feeling safe in your town. You feeling safe in the environment that you live in, feeling safe going to the grocery store, feeling safe going for a walk in a park, feeling safe. So public safety is the overall feel that law enforcement makes you feel, right? That's a big deal for you. We've had some things happen in the county where there were events that occurred, and to me, and this is just me speaking for me, it seemed to go without much attention. I didn't say it's swept under the rug, but it's just so weird because then it happened and it wasn't good, and then it was gone.
Right.
So tell me about what public safety looks like, in your eyes.
So transparency is super important. A lot of people speak about transparency, but it's not really there. It's important for us to have that established relationship with our community so that they know what's going on. You know, the community is one of our most valuable resources. When you see something, you say something. But it's important for us to tell you about these things. Sometimes it can jog a memory, like, oh yeah, I remember seeing that vehicle that stood out. Oh yes, I remember seeing that person, they stood out. It was kind of weird that they were standing outside of a bank with a trench coat on in the middle of summer. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I remember, like, years, like, yeah, I remember that. So having those open lines of communication with our community is super important. Having that transparency there about things that happen in our community is super important. Yeah. And I stand behind that. You know, crime is the thing that's going to happen. You know, but we need to put our best foot forward to try to help reduce crime, to deter crime, to make sure that anyone that thinks they're going to come to Indian River County to commit crime needs to have a think twice about it. Yeah, I agree. And most of the people in these things that happened are people that come in from outside the county. Transients. Yeah, they're not from here. Right. Because the people live here know better. Right. Don't mess around in Indian River County, right? That's right. No, it's true. It's true. You know, we have some great deputies. We have some great police officers. We do. You know, I've been teaching the police academy for 19 years, coming up on 20 years. Yeah. You know, I'm the first instructor that they see. In some cases, first and the last instructor that they see. Yes. You know, so I get the pick of the litter, so to speak. Yeah. I get to pick the best and the brightest and recruit these men and women from other counties. Yeah. And they come here. With hopes that they're going to have a successful career here. So that's why I'm invested, in the sheriff's office, super invested in working with the city's police departments, because a lot of these men in those agencies and women in those agencies, I've taught them too. Yeah. You know, they know what my expectations are. My expectations are nothing short of excellence. Right. And then is that a role? That's a teaching role that if you are in the sheriff's office, there's always somebody there that is that teacher. Right. Correct. Yeah. They have an instructor in every block of instructions. And sometimes they switch them out depending on the specialties. You know, we have some folks that are traffic homicide investigators, and they teach more of our traffic block of instructions. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Let me do this. I've got a couple more questions, but let's take that commercial. We got to pay for this. That's how we do it with a couple commercials. We'll be right back with Milo Thornton in just a little bit. See you in a second.
It's hurricane season. Prune your trees now with Scott Tree Services. Strengthen your trees against high winds and remove broken limbs that could cause damage. Don't get nervous. Call Scott Tree Services.
Start your weekend early with Live in the Loop, Thursday nights at Riverside Theater. Live music from local musicians, jazz, country, and blues, starting at 5:30. Hang out, rock out, and chill out. Riverside Theater's Live in the Loop, outdoor grill, and music bar.
Hey you! Host your very own show every week at Evergreen Media Network in Vero Beach. Go live to YouTube and Facebook with up to 4 people and your very own producer. Be heard on more than 15 podcast platforms and local radio. All you have to do is show up and talk. Your guests can join from anywhere in the world. It's easy to get started with the largest podcast studio on the Treasure Coast. Contact Evergreen Media to tour the studio.
At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is filled with the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast. Now during our summer sale, you can save 10 to 50% store-wide on furniture in the latest styles and colors from Tommy Bahama, Lexington, Hooker, Riverside, Universal, Four Seasons, Braxton Color, Capri, and more. Sofas, love seats, dining sets, bedroom groups, all in stock for immediate delivery. We're also the outdoor furniture experts and have hundreds of styles of any patio furniture you need, including a gallery of Berlin Garden, Hollywood, and Kingsley Bait. Sunshine Furniture, 1295 US 1 in the Publix Plaza, Vero Beach. Come in now for our store-wide summer sale, including all pictures, lamps, and accessories half price. Don't forget to visit our outlet and sales store directly across the street and visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com.
Sunshine Furniture.
Oh, God. What a beautiful day. I am so excited. It's a great day in the house. It is a great day in the house. We have Milo Thornton here in the house talking with us about what's going on. Okay, the role of the sheriff's office, because we have other law enforcement in town. I live in Indian River Shores. There's the city of Vero Beach. There's Sebastian City, right? So what is the role of the sheriff's office with regard to coordinating, and how do you think that could be done better if it's not being done already?
So I've always had the mindset that the sheriff's office, which is the largest law enforcement agency in the county, should always be an advocate for the smaller agencies.
Yes.
To support them in the desires and things that they need to help, solve crime.
Mm-hmm.
When you start talking about the sheriff's office, we have an aviation unit. The other agencies don't.
Yeah.
So if they're looking for a person who's lost or missing and they need the assistance of our aviation unit, you help them.
Yeah.
You take the politics out of it, you take the sandboxes and the silos out of it.
Yeah.
We are here for a collective, to work side and side to protect our community, because no one cares about the color of the uniform. They just want help.
That's right.
When they call for help, they need help.
That's it.
Our jobs are to help the smaller agencies like Fellsmere. They have 8 police officers.
Yeah. Oh my God. And so much property out there,
it's
right?
a large area, unincorporated, rural areas out there. You start talking about the marsh, and we have a lot of folks that go out there are ill-advised on how to navigate those waters, and they get lost, and we have to go and find them. So when they call, we go and help.
Yeah.
So my job's always been, and my mindset's always been to, you help these guys. I know Chief Curry. I have a really good relationship with Chief Curry.
Yeah.
Chief Acosta and Sebastian, we have a great relationship. Like I tell you before, most of their police officers, I taught them.
Right, exactly.
So, these are my students. These are my, they're my kids. So I'm always going to be advocates and big supporters of them.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think that there's an opportunity as well, as we were just discussing, that sometimes if it's, the county and the city have delineated lines, and if you call, so I had the joy of going to 911 to during COVID. We brought them lunch because they couldn't leave. They were there for like 12-hour shifts or something. And so Chef Scott Varicchio, and he made the food, and I went over and delivered it. And that crew, that team over there is amazing. And if you didn't know this as a citizen of Indian River County, any 911 call you call goes to one place. I don't care whether you're in Indian River Shores. I don't care where you are in the county, goes there. And then they go and assign an officer to respond to your 911 call. Okay. And what we were saying was sometimes everybody's out and we need to coordinate to pull other agencies in. How is that a potential? Can that work? I mean, do we do that now, or we don't do that yet?
So, we have some exceptional people that work in our 911
They're
center.
so good.
It's
amazing.
They're our eyes and our ears. They're our warriors.
They are.
They collect the information and they send us to a call in the blind, and we have to try to figure out what's going on, and they are leading us into those areas.
That's right.
Now there are times when during season and our northern part-time residents are here.
Yes. Our neighbors.
Calls increase.
Yes.
And our deputies are assigned to a multitude of calls. I think when I was a young captain of patrol, I would often call our law enforcement partners and ask them to respond to a call in the county. Technically, they only have law enforcement jurisdiction and powers within their parameters.
Correct.
But if they're acting under our guidance, they can come and help in those areas.
Yeah.
Laura, I've often told people, Laura doesn't care what color the uniform is if she calls for help. She just wants help.
That's right.
So I think having that mutual aid understanding where we can call and have them come out and help us, in the event, we're inundated with calls, is valuable. And they want to do it.
Yeah. I think so too. I think that there's an advantage, and I feel like that's Vero Beach community. They all want to work together. Everybody wants to work together.
We should.
Yeah, we should. We have to.
Yeah.
I think, it's super important.
And you start talking about the shores, they're not going to see the type of calls that we see.
Right.
So when they have an opportunity to come out and see those calls that they don't get to see often, they're excited about it.
Right.
So just allowing them to come and help us is crucially important.
Yeah. Well, it helps everybody. I think it does. We love our Indian River Shores police. They're
great guys. Great guys.
All cross-trained. They're doing a great job. Milo Thornton, thank you so much for being with us here today. We appreciate it. Best of luck to you on the 20th of August. Remember, guys, you can go out and vote early. I hope you guys have a safe and happy week. Be safe out there, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Bye-bye.